Hello and welcome to the Hornets and Heartbreak podcast. My name is Mark Bernacki and I'm here with my co-host Tim Rogers. What's up, Tim?
What it do, Liquor Mark?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Since the last time we talked, the Hornets are 2-2, which I'd say is okay considering we were missing Musa and Miles for three of those games. Nice little 500 stint win the last two games against Washington, Chicago, and losing against Cleveland and Houston. Tim, let's start with the good things, the things that have happened most recently. What stood out to you about the past two games?
Um, I would say the number one thing outside of making 50 threes, um, would be the third quarter, which I feel like this trend really gained traction with the Warriors, like Prime Warriors. Like good teams come out and kill it in the third quarter, and we have outscored our opponents 86 to 34 in the last two, 3 quarters, Mark.
That is insane. I didn't quite realize that. It makes a lot of sense now. So I mean, the third quarter against Washington is when LaMelo Ball had his incredible explosion where he had 10 threes in the game. I don't know how many threes he had in the third quarter, like five, six, I don't know, something like that. Scoring 37 against Washington. And then last night against the Bulls, we outscored them, what, 40 to 18 or something like that?
Yeah, 42-18, I believe.
Yeah.
Had a 17-0 run in there. I mean, just absolutely blew the doors off. Granted, a bad team.
Yes, Chicago's completely gone south basically since slightly before the All-Star break. And I mean, I think now we can consider them one of the worst teams in the NBA, even though their record is still like relatively close to teams like Milwaukee and even us. Um, but yeah, they're in reality they're one of the worst teams left. Yeah, man, you compared us to the Warriors there. But it's true that this team, with the way that we can shoot threes, and the onslaught of three-pointers that we've had in the past two games, I mean, it does kind of feel a little in the style of the Golden State Warriors. Not comparing us to the Golden State Warriors, but in the style of the Warriors from the late 2010s.
I wouldn't compare it either because they really only had three good shooters. I mean, we got deep. They didn't have a Josh Green.
Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, man. So you asked me this question. Um, where does LaMelo rank in terms of the most exciting players to watch when they're hot? And I think Steph is more exciting. And I think that LaMelo might be up there. The game against Washington, the amount of deep three-pointers that he hit, like he refuses to shoot the ball close to the three-point line. Like he has to be 20, 28 feet, 30 feet for him to shoot the ball. And he has to be fading away. He has to be on one foot. It's just ridiculous. And that display of shooting, I really liked also in that game how the Hornets had lost two games in a row, and LaMelo was more aggressive offensively in that game. Granted, again, it's against the Wizards, and we should win no matter what. We maybe shouldn't need, LaMelo to be that aggressive for us to win. But I mean, I was just impressed with the leadership and the shooting in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's like, yeah, I would say Steph. I hate to say it, Anthony Edwards when he gets hot.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like unquestionably top five. Eric Collins was like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. He wanted blood. He was like, shoot the ball. Like he just wanted to see him continue to pour it on. It is a blast. And yeah, as you said, back to back blowouts again, bad teams. Mark, I have a stat for you, bud.
Okay.
So since we've last recorded, we've had 2 wins by at least 15 points. That is more than we had to talk about, game wise, in the entire last full season we did the podcast. In the last week, Mark, we've had 11 wins by at least 15 points in the last 2 months. How many do you think we've had since 2023?
Six.
Oh, 7. We've had 7. I mean, this is unreal. You know what I've learned? Garbage time kicks ass when you're winning. Dude, I had such a blast watching the fourth quarter last night. I was like, man, Xavier Tillman, like watching Trey Mann play, no frustration. Why didn't no one tell us about this? Having a good basketball team is so fun.
Yeah, man, it really is. Like, so I mean, for context, again, I'm in Europe. I said this last week. Man, I stayed up for the entire Washington game for no reason. It was on until 2:30 in the morning, and like we were up by 30 going into the fourth quarter. And I'm like, yeah, no, I gotta see if LaMelo hits like two more threes, and he didn't. But I just stayed up until 2:30 in the morning to watch this stupid game against the Wizards because it's so much fun to watch this team when we're hot. Um,
We
and
12 for 13 from 3 to kick off the third quarter. How are you going to turn the game off at any point? I don't care if we're up by 75.
yeah, man. Yeah, that was awesome. Um, and I absolutely love those stats. Uh, what else has gone right in the past two games? I mean, we had Kobe White's debut. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, Kobe White. I think he's better than Colin Sexton. Small sample size, and obviously it's weird because his first game back is against his old team, so clearly, he's gonna put a little extra mustard on it. Yeah, Kobe White. Couldn't really ask for more in the debut. Want to see what he does, 3 weeks down the line when he doesn't have like super high adrenaline. But yeah, seems like having him back plus our starting center and Miles very important. This team's pretty good, Mark.
Yeah. So I mean, when we're fully healthy, this team is awesome as we've seen, and as we saw last night, and then we saw a really awesome version of the team against Washington as well. What this stretch sort of made me think about is just how thin the margins are in the NBA. Because without Musa and Miles, you might think that this team can still keep up at the same pace that we were at. And really, we're just two injuries away from being a completely different team. And again, it was against Houston and Cleveland, so like those are two very good teams, and it's respectable losses where we only lost by a few points. But like, yeah, I mean, I think without those two players, not only is it missing those two players, but what really hurts us and what we saw is that when we miss those two guys, other people have to play. And the
Yeah.
minutes get passed on to T. John, or they get passed on to Trey Mann, or they get passed on to PJ Hall, or they get passed on to uh I'm even blanking on it. Who played against Cleveland that I never
Um,
thought I would see on the court?
because my man Grant had to sit out against
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Um
also, Mark, people are just stopping me on the street and they're saying, is the apology going to be as loud as the disrespect? Are you going to apologize to Grant Williams, averaging a sterling 12 points over his last 3 games since we last spoke?
no, I'm not. I'm actually not going to apologize just yet here. And I was thinking of Xavier Tillman, is what I was thinking of. Never thought I would see him actually play, and he played real minutes.
Yeah,
Um,
that one of those where it's like, oh yeah, I remember people saying he's a good player. Uh, verdict's out on that one. We'll we'll see about that. And you're right, 2 injuries away. But let's talk about when we have these 5 guys playing, because I know the stat goes around. It's like, what are we? 17-2 when they start. I was like, okay, well, like let's get into sample size here. So that 5-man lineup has played the ninth most minutes of any 5-man lineup in the league this year. Do you know what their net rating is?
I mean, it's number one in the league. I don't know about how
Yeah,
much.
plus 30 on the dot.
That's
Uh,
ridiculous. That's actually
yeah,
ridiculous. And that's a
they have
lot. That's a lot of games.
Yeah. They played about 500 minutes together. So about assuming they played 10 full games, the entire game, which obviously no one does that. But yeah, 139 offensive rating, and this is not taking into account last night's game. So essentially, that lineup is up there offensively with pretty much just Jokic lineups that have played like more than 200 minutes. Like an absolute bulldozer of a unit. It's absurd.
Yeah, and I mean when you first see those stats coming, like they started happening, maybe when we had that 5 game win streak. You start seeing those stats like, wow, the Hornets starting lineup is really, really good. Now it's been a while. Like and that number is not changing. Um, and the starting lineup is still the best starting lineup in the NBA, according to net rating. Uh, and I mean, net rating's not some like advanced stat that you got to convolute like, oh, this is a warp and schwarp as Zach Lowe likes to say, right? Like it's just net rating. It's just who's the best.
Yeah. It's like you score points. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's your net rating. Like, score more
Yeah.
than they did? All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And we're doing it in I would, an interesting way where we're still bottom five in turnovers. So like, we're still a little loosey goosey with it, like a young team. You know where we're making that back at, Mark?
Offensive rebounds.
Yeah. So we're crushing it on the glass, top five in offensive and defensive rebounds, and we're allowing the least offensive rebounds as we're allowing the least amount of offensive rebounds of any team with Moose on the floor. Also, do kind of think that's part of the reason we had that fight with the Pistons. We were kind of getting beat on the boards. But yeah, it's just like it's such a fascinating team, but it seemed like a structurally sound team. This is not the Borrego Hornets where it's like, man, I hope we hit 23 threes tonight.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love the stats that you're bringing. I love the optimism. And how could you not? How could you not be optimistic after a 32 point win? Kobe White, just to circle back to that, easing back into it. We will see how he fits into this rotation. But it was definitely nice that the moment we're fully healthy, 32 point win. Like team's back.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, okay, like no sweat. Both games were, like closer than they should have been at halftime. And then obviously it was just like, okay, guys, let's turn it on here for 12 minutes. And really like just 8 minutes. It's like, it's not even like, they're playing the full third quarter. Don't know why LaMelo just came into the game last night for like 2 minutes as well. Maybe just for kicks. But yeah, no, it's an absolute blast of a team. And it actually does seem sustainable. I mean, now we're talking like, it's that sample size since January 1st. I mean, we have a 25 game sample size here. This isn't one of those like, hey, in the last 10 days, like this seems to actually be cooking with a little bit of gas, and we're going to make the finals. So that's cool.
Let's get hyperbolic. I mean, you know who also had a bad record going into the new year last year? The Indiana Pacers. And LaMelo won Rookie of the Year over Tyrese Halliburton. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah.
Who's injury prone now? Tyrese Halliburton.
I'm dead. Okay. Tim, let's stop just gassing up the team. And I mean, were there anything else we want to talk about from the last 4 games? I can't remember. Trey Man, tough minutes, especially against Cleveland and Houston. We talked about that a little bit last episode, but yeah, it's good. It's good to have the players back and actually playing.
Yeah, we'll dedicate all of next episode to Grant Williams' 20-point game. So we will get back to that. But yeah, the one stray thought, since it's been all, love and happiness here, I couldn't help but think to myself, wow, I mean, how much better could this team be if we had Booz Ellis instead of Dijon? As he scored 32 points last night. I was like, he wouldn't have really changed our record. Last year, I was like, I have a feeling he might be getting minutes on our team. But that's sour grapes. That's Hornets and heartbreak of the past. We don't have to think about that anymore because the future's bright, Mark.
Okay. I mean, you're talking about Grant Williams' apology. Listen, T. John shot the ball pretty well in the past few games when he got minutes. Did he play exceedingly well? No, but I thought he was decent. in the games that where Grant and Miles were out?
Is he the most likely player in the NBA to airball a layup?
That is a very good rebuttal to what I said, Tim. He's up there. He's in the top 10.
Top.
That that's for sure. Okay. I appreciate that. Let's talk about the standings. So I think we need to do this like weekly. Just a quick little standings check-in. Because you know, I got kind of scared to be honest, looking at the standings. Because I thought we just like, okay, we passed the Hawks, like we're never gonna fall behind them again. But now we are in 10th and Atlanta's in ninth. And then Milwaukee is suddenly 7-3 in the last 10 and like has the same number of losses as us. So I mean, before we start talking about like sixth seed, we might want to make sure that we that we get some wins under our belt and we like climb up to the 9 seed again. But yeah, so Miami has 31 wins, 31-28. We are 28-31. What I'm looking out for, Tim, is in 2 weeks we will have a podcast on March 11th. In between now and then, we play 7 games. We play against Indiana, Portland, Dallas, Boston, Miami, Phoenix, and then Portland again. Can we be 500 in 2 weeks?
Mm.
So
Okay, so
that would mean we need to go 5-2. We have
okay, yeah.
Indiana, Portland, Dallas, Boston, Miami, Phoenix, Portland again.
Um, yeah, in my head when you were going over there, I was shooting for 5-2. So I say yes.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're gonna make any push to like get to 7-8 or seventh or eighth, seventh and eighth seed, we got to get to 500 like pretty soon because time's running out. Um, so we gotta catch up to these teams that are 3 games over, 4 games over, 5 games over 500. Um, yeah. Okay. If we can do that, Tim, then I believe that we have a chance to make it to the seventh or the eighth seed. If we can't, I think that's a pretty important little check-in for us in 2 weeks.
Do you if we had to put a dollar on it, what do you think the team's actually going to go?
I mean, I think 5-2 is about realistic. So the games against Boston, Miami, and Phoenix are clearly the hardest. Um, that's the stretch that's the hardest. We got to beat Miami if we want to pass them in the standings. So that'll be a good game to watch. Um, But yeah, yeah, we gotta we gotta keep winning because the Hawks and the Bucks are low key like kind of playing well as well. We have the tiebreaker on the Hawks, obviously, but we do not have it on the Bucks. So we can't forget about the Bucks just because uh, they've turned it on as of
Didn't
late.
realize once they got their franchise player back, Cam Thomas. You know who knew that was going to really take off.
All right, Tim. I think it's time. So we haven't mentioned this player much on the podcast up until now. The player I'm referring to is Kon Knueppel, aka the Rookie of the Year. Um, you know, so he has played like unbelievably well this season. He leads the NBA in three-pointers made. That's ahead of Donovan Mitchell. That's ahead of Steph Curry, who's played a lot less games. That's ahead of any player you can think of. He has the most three-pointers made this season. And he is by far shooting the highest percentage on threes of anybody in the top 10 in three-pointers made. Again, that's higher than Steph Curry. That's higher than Donovan Mitchell. Anybody who's a really good three-point he's shooting the highest percentage of threes. And he's a rookie. It is his first year in the NBA. Tim, I think he should win Rookie of the Year, and I don't think it's like even particularly close. The efficiency of this guy is unbelievable. He is about to almost have a 40, 50, 90 season, which I think has only been achieved by 7 players in NBA history over like a reasonable sample size. And he's maybe going to do it as a rookie. It's unbelievable how much this guy has brought to our team. He doesn't look like he would be good at basketball, but he is better than Cooper Flagg. He is the best rookie by far. He should not be an underdog to win the award. And that's my take. Over to you, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll call this. Let's have a con conniption. Um, yeah, absolutely. This Cooper Flags, and maybe been wrong in the past, and maybe we were a little too hard on Anthony Edwards when he was a rookie, and potentially Tyrese Halliburton. Who's to say? But I get so annoyed when I read and like people be getting takes, and it's like, oh, I mean, does defense not matter? And it's like, guys, come on. Like Khan is a integral part of one of the best offenses in the league. Like he's not just like getting set up. This guy's out of this world. I mean, he's top 5 in true shooting percentage in the league out of like non-big man. Like he is ridiculously efficient. Um, yeah, I really just don't even kind of know how to handle it. Like just
Yeah.
watching him play on a daily basis, it's so like I'm not used to this. He's better than like just as a rookie, and again, different situations. I mean, he's having the best rookie season I think of any Hornet player like in the Bobcats Hornets era.
Yeah, I mean, he's having one of the best rookie seasons of all time. I mean, like, I'm not being hyperbolic. He's making the most threes of anybody in the NBA, and he's shooting the highest percentage of anybody that's making a lot of threes. It's the most important skill in the modern NBA, and he's the best at it in the league. Like, nobody really considered him for All-Star because he doesn't really look the part of an All-Star, and he doesn't really like um, I mean, he doesn't have the counting stats to be an all-star. Uh, but man, he should have been in the conversation. Um, like 19 points per game, I get it. It's not 25 like an all-star normally has. But this is the three-point shooting is just unprecedented. The efficiency is just unprecedented. So, I mean, we can talk about Cooper Flag in a little bit, but from three, it's 43.6%. From free throw, it's 89%. From the field overall, 49%. So again, that's close to 40, 50, 90. Of any rookie in NBA history, there have only been two 10-game sections where they're averaging 20 points per game or more on 70% true shooting or higher. And they're both Kon Knueppel in the entire NBA history. No other
That
player has done that.
that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like that's LeBron James. Nobody has done it except for Kon Knueppel. Um, so I mean, here's the take again, is that efficiency wise, it's harder to maybe see this when you're watching games. And like Cooper Flag is a flashier, traditionally maybe looks like a better basketball player, but it's not close because Kon Knueppel is shooting 13% higher on three-pointers than Cooper Flag. We got it. Like people are like, oh, it's Cooper Flagg's award because it is Cooper Flagg's award. It's not. It's just not. Kon Knueppel is a better basketball player at the moment. I understand the potential Cooper Flagg upside, but it's not a close race.
No, and it's to the point now where you're like, huh, Han went 3 for 8 from three. Pretty shitty game. You're just like, but it's not all. That's not all that he does either. And the gravity has already set in as well, which I know that might be like an eye roll inducing phrase. When Khan's on the court, opens it up. The Hornets as a team shoot 6.5% better at the rim when he's on the floor, setting people up for good looks, stretching the floor, and he's like a release valve. Like he's not a catching. He's not Corey Kispert. Like he's actually doing things, and I feel like him not getting the All Star nod is really just perfectly in line with the Chris Middleton comps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you trying to set me up here, Tim? Are you trying to give me a layup for my player comparison?
I mean, who's to say more? I mean, Chris Middleton, I think, is pretty high praise, right?
Oh my God, I love that you just did that. So me and Tim have talked off air, and so Tim knows what's coming here. Um, yeah, let's get more hyperbolic. I mean, I think a better player comparison than Chris Middleton is Luka Doncic. Um, and okay, it might just be because he looks like a like slightly bulky white guy, right? But also, I think his style of play and his ability to get to spots on the floor is something that really reminds me of Luca. Like just the way that he's so sort of I'm trying to think of the right word, but he's able to get to his spots in a way that's like almost like programmatic, right? Like he's doing these very precise movements to be able to get off shots that I don't think I've seen other players other than like Luca and him sort of play in that style. He's not beating you with raw athleticism. It's just precision.
Yeah, something that I've been locking in on the last like 2, 3 years is getting to like the short mid range, and I think Miller's done really good at it as well. And Khan is just um of just popping from like getting to your spot, maybe doing like a little fake and then popping from like 10 to 12 feet. Khan is shooting 54% on those short mid range. That's 91st percentile um, in the league. Yeah, I don't I don't know if I'd go as far as you are right now, but I also like there is a world where like with this strength, because I forget, I think it was Nate Duncan made the point where like strength has become so much more important in the last like 5, 10 years with the way defenses have gone, and like just being able to get to your spot, actually hold it, and make something out of it. Khan's already kind of looks like a 6 year pro.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is touch, right? I mean, we're talking about his ability to make shots is so elite that comes down to touch, which is, reminiscent of a player like Luca who's able to make the most ridiculous shots you've seen. Kon clearly has like a little bit of that in him. And I'm not saying he's going to be Luka Doncic, to be clear. But I mean, I do think that would be like I think he's closer to what Luca is than what Chris Middleton is, to be completely honest with you. Um, he does not have the on the ball juice that Luca had or has that Luca had in his rookie year, but he's a better shooter than Luca is. So
I was about
what do we make of that? I mean, he just is. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was shooting high when I was like Klay Thompson, more on ball juice, but you just go straight to Luca. Say what if Newton was a good teammate?
yeah. um, Yeah, and I mean, I guess we can calm down a little bit. I don't want the listeners to think that I'm saying that he's going to be Luka Doncic, but I think that is a better comparison than what people say and what you think of when you think of Kon Knueppel as an outside fan. Um, Man, just go look at some stats. I would everything's the same except for Kon Knueppel shooting way more efficiently than Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, yeah. Part of this also might be we're in a basketball group chat as well, Mark, because we're in a dynasty fantasy basketball league because we're nerds, um, and a lot of Cooper Flag discussion this summer. And not gonna lie, I'm gonna root against the kid, and I'm gonna assume that he's actually just not that good. I don't know, and I know that he dropped 40 on us. Like, I was there, I saw it, watched it happen. I'm not impressed, um, and some of that is probably just bias and hate. I don't know. I'm not like I'm sure he'll be a multi-time. I'm sure he'll make an All NBA, like more than one All NBA team thing. Just not my tempo, you know not my kind of player. Think he's overrated. Thought he was overrated coming out, and yeah, definitely Team Con.
Cool. Should we name the segment? Do we have a name for what we just did, Tim?
Yeah, dude, we just had a
Um,
con connection.
okay. Is that what we're calling it?
We can
Uh, our rookie is better than yours. We're 28 now. We have different names for our segments.
Yeah, true. We've dropped the vulgarity, and also whoever left us a review 2 years ago that said that we just hate the entire team and every player. Where are you now? What do you have to say about this? All right. Also, were we wrong? Oh man, I really wish we kept the Martin twins and Nick Richards. Man, I don't know. They just need 2 more years to develop. Loser mentality. Look at us now.
Never wrong, Tim. Just too early. We're just too
Uh,
early.
ain't
All right.
ain't that Mark? Ain't that the truth? Yeah. So wax poetic. You got anything else on the table for us, Mark?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, I mean we can go hit media corner real quick. What do you got, Tim?
I have a little film here called "State of Siege" by Tosta Gavras from 1972, and it is about a South American country where there has been some U.S. interference per se, and some not great things going on there. And a group of young rebels uh, kidnap someone, and the story unravels from there. It is very fascinating and also very timely.
Are you gonna ask me what I have for media corner?
Yeah. What, Mark? What do you have for media corner?
I mean, I don't have anything prepared, but the thing that I can think of, it's just been all over social media. Alyssa Liu, man, the figure skating routine was killer. I don't know if you caught that, Tim.
I did. I was like 2 hours late on it, but I was at an unnamed Charlotte bar with our friend Haley Savage, and she told the bartender that she had the same vibes and same look, and the bartender immediately was like, "Hey, do you have your ID?" To her, she did not, and kicked us out of the bar. So I don't think everyone is super on board with it.
That is tough. That is tough. When you say we, you mean she did, right? But you had to leave
Um,
also.
yeah, well, yeah, I wasn't gonna be like, "All right, man, you go wait in the
Okay.
parking lot. I'm gonna crush some cranberry vodkas real quick."
Wait, y'all are meeting up to watch it?
No, it was like 2 hours, 3 hours after it happened or whatever. And we did walk in there, and the bartender, who is normally very nice, did have shaded, like stripped like shades green in her hair instead of blonde. And she also had a similar piercing. Um, so like it really wasn't, it was definitely a compliment and also not that far off base.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh we got diverted somehow. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or rate on Spotify and Apple. Shout out to the person who left a review this week. That was really kind. It makes our day and also helps the podcast grow. So yeah, please leave us a review or rate the podcast. And check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Hornets Podcast. We're back on social media, kind of, if you want to check that out.
I'll get back to posting this week. I got to stretch the legs. We're warming up on the pod as well. Feel like we're getting our groove back. Also, Mark, real quick, 'cause I have to do this. Since we're in media corner, technically still, because of the podcast, I've been listening to our girl Olivia again.
Wait, wait. Why is this? Why did this come up?
Because when I you make me think of Olivia Rodrigo because
That's wild.
and we would talk about it all the time. So I was like, oh, you know what, man? I haven't given these a spin in a while, and did both albums back to back, and I've been listening to Guts on a pretty regular basis over the last week.
I mean, I'm kind of soured on her second album, to be honest. I don't know if it was. It's just too similar to the first one. Um, with time, I have not grown to appreciate the second one, but the first one still hits.
That's actually my exact feeling as well, where you know, big fan of Making the Bed. Vampire still goes, but yeah, a little too hard on the mid tempo ballads. And I think the production is a little better. It's a little dirtier, which is what I'm into. I like a little bit of grime, a little bit of sludge in there. But yeah, I'm pretty interested to see what comes with album number three. But yeah, I do think that Sour is the one.
Yeah, yeah. It would be a nice. I would say that I'm expecting kind of the rest of her music to be not as good as the first album. So if she does produce something that's close to Sour, even, that would be a nice surprise. And a welcome surprise on this podcast.
Exactly. You come for Kon, you stay for Olivia. That's the beauty of this podcast.
All right, Tim. It has been real.
Been real. You be safe out there, Liquor Mark.
Peace.
Peace.